Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the inspirational Lady Noble 365. I trust that you are doing well, loving yourself and those who are around you. Today, I'd like to come to you with some words of inspiration and some words of encouragement. And I would like to share with you, a big reveal, as we give our currency to what's going on in social media, worldwide around the world. And as we listen to people tell their stories, seeking justice and, justification, vindication, wanting to be heard, embarking on their process of healing from whatever they have endured. And this does not just pertain to the celebrities, but everyone worldwide at this time, as we are in this energy that we are in, the vindication and justice. We often hear people tell their stories of ways that they have been maybe misused, mistreated, mishandled, abused, just treated in a fashion that was unfair or, not for their highest good, and I'm speaking of any form of abuse or mistreatment, whether you are a male or female, a kid, a child, any form of abuse that needs to be spoke on or has been spoken on, or any kind of, turmoil that someone has had to endure that has left an imprint on their life, or caused them to be hindered in some way, shape, or form. When we listen to people tell their stories, especially those who have been victimized, those who have been put in compromising situations, the first thing that we want to say and respond with the number one favorite response is, why now? We often hear people say, why now? Why is it now that they want to tell their story? Why are they waiting now to say something? Well, I'm here to give you the answer. Spirit put on my heart because you need to know this. And what I'm going to share with you, it is true, it is fact, it is not fictional. Everything has its own timing and purpose. Everything has its own divine timing. Everything has its own intentional purpose, whether you have an understanding of it or not. There is always more than what meets the eye. There is always more than, behind the curtain that is taking place on many levels here in life on the planet Earth. But as humans, we have a habit of only looking at things and receiving things for the outer layer, the surface layer, kind of like a 7-layer salad, looking at all the cheese on top and saying, ooh, I want that part. Not knowing that there are many other layers, metaphorically speaking, to indulge in. There are many other layers of that 7-layer salad for your palate to enjoy, but a person is likely to view the top of the dish and want to indulge in it. I'm using that analogy of that 7-layer salad to simply say there is more than what meets the eye. Even if you don't have an understanding, even if you're not into spirituality, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what your beliefs are. But it is time for us as a people to go deeper, to be more spiritual, and to come with an empty cup whenever we're listening to anyone share their experience or their story of how they have been mistreated or how they are explaining the impact of the mistreatment has left on them, the imprint that it has left on their souls, emotionally, spiritually, physically, verbally, psychologically. There's more going on than the physical. There are many realms, many dimensions, many layers. There's a lot taking place at this time. There's a lot going on, in the physical as well as the spiritual. But many of us aren't able to, and I get it, respectfully so, as I always say, all planes won't take off at the same time. It wouldn't be smart, it wouldn't be safe, and they're not supposed to, because each and every one of us are uniquely and individually and divinely created. But understand that everything has its own timing and own intentional purpose. And even if you're not able to understand the reasoning why, because everything isn't for us to know respectfully, everyone isn't ready to understand or receive why certain things are happening or occurring. So the next time you hear someone who may have been a victim of any situation and they're telling their story or they want to be heard, Just keep in mind that it is the right time for them to tell their story. Excuse me. It is the right time for them to tell their story. It's the proper time. The stars are aligned. Cosmically speaking. Get into your astrology. If you really want to understand what's going on around you, if you really want to understand yourself as well, collective, get into your astrology. Go deeper. Tap into something different, because I've heard it time and time again. Why now? Why now? Why are they saying something now? Because everything really has its own individual divine timing of being told, spoken on, and revealed. It just is what it is, and you may not be able to wrap your mind around it or have an understanding to try to connect with it. Well, everything isn't for us to know why, but everything is being properly aligned. It's already written in the stars. We already have our contract before we are born, and we are pushed into, through that canal, and we are pushed and thrust on here to the planted earth. Before we are even planted here, your contract is already written. It has already been agreed to. So if we know this as truth and as fact, everything has its own timing. That's why certain things are spoken on and revealed, at a certain time. There's nothing wrong if a person waited 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, or 5 years. Just know that whatever they are speaking on, it's the right timing for it to be revealed. It is the right time to speak on that topic. It is the right time for them to have that release. We are all here strategically. We all have our own mission, our own path, but we all are here to work together to complete, to fit into a bigger whole. And as many people as it is in the world, worldwide, from every state, every continent, we're just like we're as small as one human is as small as the tip of a pen, metaphorically speaking. And each one of us, we're little worlds inside of a bigger world, working towards a greater whole, a greater mission, a greater plan. You may not understand it, you may not be able to connect with it at this time, but trust and believe there will be a time where you will be able to understand, and you will reflect, and you will think back to this conversation, to this video, to this audio. I get it. Everything actually has its own timing and purpose, uniquely and divinely, intentionally, to be revealed, to be spoken on, to be told. Some things are withheld to be revealed at particular timings because a lot of us here are utilized as catalysts. I'm not going to say used, but utilized as a catalyst, someone to pave the way for new ideas, for new entry, for a shift, for a change to occur, for evolvement on many, many, many levels. I could go on and talk about this topic all day long. But trust and believe, collective. Next time you hear someone telling their story, make sure you come with an empty cup. It isn't about when and why they waited. They didn't wait. It was already pre-orchestrated, pre-designed. It was already written in the stars for them to tell their story at that time, on that date, in that way, about that situation. It's all in divine timing. Ashe.